Hi, I'm Debbie and welcome to Book and Bujo. Thank you for joining me to hear about all of the September readathons that I'm participating in. Let's start with my year-long readathons. So we have Buzzwordathon with books and Lala, and the prompt for September is game-related words, and for that I will be reading Trollbridge by Terry Pratchett. As you can see, I still have empty bookshelves, but I did get these painted gray and this one black, so one step closer. And I had to put a few books up here because it was looking so bare. So then the other year-long readathon that I'm participating in is Year In Aeldia, or Adventures in Aeldia, and that is with G at Book Roast. So in August, we all attended the Wizardly Academy. And then Karasu, who is continuing along this side of the path, has to sign up for advanced inscription classes, and for that he has to read a dark academia book, and we'll be reading Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence, which is the third book in the Book of the Ancestors series. For Ariel, she is along this path here, and she needs to go on a date, and that is to read a romance. And I am gonna hold off on choosing what that romance will be. I am hoping that one of the books I already have in my TBR will have a romance in it, but I don't think it does. If it doesn't, then I will most likely read the third book. So the third book in the Brown Sisters trilogy, because that's a series I want to finish, and I did just read Take a Hint, Annie Brown, and that's Act Your Age, Eve Brown. So if none of the books on my TBR are romance at all, which I don't think they are, then I will be reading Act Your Age, Eve Brown, which is the third book in the Brown Sisters trilogy by Talia Hibbert. And then the other part of Wizardly Academy is to summon an Impling, and we didn't have to finish that in August. We could do it any time of the year, so I'm going to be doing that. I actually am almost done with Ariel's. Karasu will still need to summon the Impling, but she read The Hammer of Thor, and that completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 prompts. So I will be reading, which is actually right up here, I will be reading Linden Falls, and that covers the last 6th prompt, but it also has to cover the 2 on either side of it, and it does complete all 3 of those. So I will be reading Linden Falls by Joshua Hershey. So I received this book from the author, Joshua Hershey, for an honest review, and I am looking forward to getting into this one. If you want to know a little bit more about it, you can check out my September TBR Oboli video, which I will leave linked up in the cards and then also down below in the description box. There's also a quest that came up towards the end of the Magical Readathon, and that is to take care of the cats in the library, and you get a key to the library if you feed the cats. So Karasu is as a scribe, is very excited about being able to have a key to the library, and is more than willing to feed some cats in order to get the key and have access to the library during off hours. So we need to read a book with the letters S and P in the title, and I actually have 4 books on my TBR for September that fit this prompt. And so Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton, Dolly Parton Songteller by Dolly Parton, The Blood of the Spear, and that is by Mark Timoney, and MBCS, and I don't remember who that is by. I will have the cover here so you can see who the author is for that one. Alright, now to the month-long readathons. So I was originally just going to do 2, and then I remembered about the 3rd one that I do every year, and now there's a 4th one that I just found out about. So 4 month-long readathons for September. For all of the readathons that I'm participating in September, I'll make sure I leave the host channels linked below, as well as the links to their announcement videos if you want to check them out and participate. So the first one is Sufferathon Hotel with Pages with Paige, and each Sunday she will upload a video that tells you the prompts for that week. And for the first week we have Read a Book with Illustrations. And for that, I plan to read Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 6 by Jordi Belair. And the rest of them I don't know yet, so we'll just have to go week by week and see what we're reading. The next one I was very excited to hear about. It sounds really interesting, and that is the Wizardly Readathon with Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and it is part of the Discord channel that him as well as a bunch of other fantasy booktubers are a part of. And I am on Team Ranger. And for this, you can read up to 8 books. You can only submit 8 books for prompts, so you can get up to 24 points. And if you do the bonus prompt, then you can get up to 25 points total. So you get 1 point just for reading a book, whether it fits a prompt or not. So if it doesn't fit a prompt, then you just get the 1 point. If it does fit a prompt, then you get a point for that prompt as well. You also do not need to read the prompts just for your particular team. You can read any of the prompts. So for the first prompt, which is Team Bard, the prompt is author shares a name with a famous musician, and for that I'm going to read The Crippled God by Steven Erikson. That's Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, famous musician. And then a Druid prompt is features an animal companion, and I will be reading The Bone Shard Emperor, the second book in the Drowning Kingdom, the Drowning Kingdom series by Andrea Stewart. And that one definitely has the most adorable and well-loved animal companion of any of the book series that I've really heard about, besides Robin Hobb, but I've already read all those. So excited to continue a series and get a adorable and wonderful animal companion in there as well. And then Prompt Ranger, which is for my team, is features an assassin, and for that I'm going to read Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence. There's actually quite a few books I probably could have chosen for this, but I'm going to stick with Holy Sister for now. Another for Team Ranger is Bow and Arrow on the cover, and for that I'll be reading The Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan, which is the 5th book, I believe, in the Wheel of Time series. And then the other 3 prompts are party prompts. So I believe there's 5 party prompts. You have to do at least 3 of the team prompts, and then the other ones can be any of the party prompts. So party prompt number 1 is read the team book, which you get an extra point for this one, and that is The Blood of the Spear by Mark Timon, and that is what Team Ranger is reading. The next party prompt is a SFF collection, so sci-fi and fantasy collection, so short story collection or anthology. And I'll be reading Sunset Stays by Craig A. Faulkner. The last prompt, my 8th prompt, is another party prompt, and that is the buddy read. So there's 5 different buddy reads that each of the hosts picked out, and so you can join in on the Discord for the buddy read, so read the book and talk about it with all of the others in the Discord channel. And that is Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. All right, and then the readathon that I participated in last year, that is now, we are having semester 2, and that is Seasonathon Academy, and that is hosted by Completely Melanie. And the group read is Thief of Sorrows by Kristen Long. Not only is this a group book, but it is also a debut author, and there's 2 different prompts that you could use this book for if you wanted to. One's a new to you author, and the other one is a debut. So there's 5 classes that you need to complete that are required, and then any of the other classes that are listed that you can choose from, you can use as a minor if you want to read extra books. So my first class is English 1020, and that is to read a new to you author, and for that I'll be reading The Blood of the Spear by Mark Timon, which is also my team book for Wizardly Readathon. My second class is Fine Arts and Humanities Literature, and that's English 1310, a short story collection, and I will be reading Sunset Stays by Craig A. Faulkner. My third class is another Fine Arts and Humanities class, but this time for visual arts, and that is Art 1110, read a graphic novel or comic, and I will be reading White Sand by Brandon Sanderson. And then Behavioral Social Sciences is my 4th class, and that is Women's Studies 2022, I believe, and that is a book with female empowerment, and I will be reading Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence. And then my last required class is Intermediate Foreign Language 2, and that is class 2140, author from a different country from your own, and I will be reading Interesting Times by Terry Pratchett, as I am in the US and Terry Pratchett is from England. And then if I have time, I will minor in English 2510, and that is to read a hyped book, And this one I'm cheating just a little bit. The whole series is hyped. This particular book isn't necessarily as hyped as the series itself, but that is The Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan, the 5th book in the Wheel of Time series. And then if I have time, I will also attend English 2530, and that is to read a book involving battle or war, and I'll be reading The Crippled God, and that is the 10th and final book in Malazan Book of the Fallen by Stephen Erickson. And the last class that will most likely participate in, that's an optional one, and that is Anthology 4500, and that is Culture Other Than Your Own, and I'll be reading The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie, which is the 5th book in the First Law world. And then last but not least, Battleathon, and that is with Melanor Reads, and I am Team Black Dragon. Very cool. I had 50-50 chance between Black Dragon and Green Dragon. I was really tempted to go Green Dragon, but Black Dragon really speaks to me. Love black. So Black Dragon it is. So in Battleathon, each week there's separate things happening, so you'll have to tune in each week to find out what's going on. So you have the 4 different teams battle against each other, and each week different team wins, and that determines what you're going to do for that week. So firstly, we all have to bond with our dragon, and for Team Black Dragon, you have to read a book that features a prominent relationship. And this one, I'm going to go a little bit by ear on what I'm going to read, but most likely I will be reading either The Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan, or possibly The Night of Many Endings by Melissa Payne, or Dolly Parton's Song Teller. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. I'm going to read the synopsis on the back of them and see which one more prominently features a relationship. So it doesn't have to, it could be a love relationship, it could be a family relationship, it could be a found family, or even just a friend's relationship. So I mean, I really could probably go with Interesting Times or Masquerade by Terry Pratchett, because those usually have, especially if it's part of the Witches series, the witches have a nice bond and relationship. So one of those books will be the ones I read. And then for the bonus prompt for the Black Dragon is to read a previously 5-star author. And for that, I have many I could choose from. So I can read Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, which is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archives. I could read White Sand by Brandon Sanderson, because those are both 5-star authors for me. Most likely I could read The Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan, or I could read The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie, also a 5-star author for me. I could read The Shadowhunters Codex by Cassandra Clare, also a 5-star author. So one of those will be my bonus prompt, but I believe you could do the bonus prompt multiple times, so you'd be able to, I could pick any of those books throughout the month and count them all. And then we also have level up prompts that you can only do once during the month, and these are to read a red book, and I will most likely read Jurassic Park, because it's basically white with all red letters and then the black dragon on it. Black dragon, black dinosaur. Title is A Movement, and that one I will most likely read Sunset Stays by Craig A. Faulkner, because stay, it's kind of a movement. It's you stopping or not moving, but it's a movement word. And then a series continuation is another one that there's multiple books that I can choose from for this one. The Crippled God, Trollbridge, which is also by Terry Pratchett, Fires of Heaven, The Shadowhunter Codex, The Heroes, Holy Sister, Rhythm of War, White Sand, The Bone Shard Emperor. Any of those would work because they are all continuations of series. Interesting Times, Masquerade, yeah, any of those could work. So that is all of the readathons I am participating in September. What readathons are you participating in? I'd love to find out. And if you are participating in Battleathon, what color did you choose for your team dragon? And if you're participating in the Wizardly Readathon, what team are you? Are you Team Ranger or Team Druid, Team Wizard? Love to find that out as well. Leave that in a comment down below. And if you made it this far, leave a bow and arrow for Team Ranger in the comments below. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you wanna. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!